Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Feature Friday. My name is Nate Stair. I'm a market segment leader here on the SiteMap team. Super excited to present augmented reality to you this morning. So it's a new feature we've released in our third version of SiteMap. So we're on 3.0 and just really excited to get this in your hands, let you use it. We're really excited about the value that this visualization tool can bring to your job site or to your facility. So yeah, just excited here for the conversation today. So yeah, we're going to go through a step-by-step process of what augmented reality looks like in the mobile app version of SiteMap. Typically, you've seen us display some of our demos in the desktop version, but we are now going to show you some mobile app kind of triaging in the application there. So yeah, we'll go through some things. I'll show you a couple of little videos. We'll go through a Q&A at the end, allow you to engage and answer any questions, get some feedback from the audience here. So yeah, it's great to be back with you here. So just a couple housekeeping things before we get this rolling here. If you have any questions at any point in time, feel free to use the chat. We'll try to get those questions answered for you in the chat, or we can prompt you to go on stage. So if you have a question, it's a little more complex than just texting through the chat. We can actually jump on live together. So with the on stage feature here in the platform. So if you haven't used Demio before, yeah, the on stage is how you can go live with me. We can communicate back and forth that way. So use the two forms of communication. Excited to engage with you all here this morning, and excited to get this rolling here. So in Feature Friday fashion, we're going to start off with a couple questions. We'd like to get feedback from the audience to see where the audience is at. We actually use this feedback for future development efforts and to really help drive a better platform here for you all to use here. So first question, we're going to throw up a poll here. How accurate or up to date are your underground utility as-built? So I think we've actually asked this one in the past before. It's usually all over the board, but yeah, so A, B, C, D. We've got whatever's on paper, paper plans. That's actually a common common situation at different facilities or even job sites. Maybe you've updated them in the last decade, but maybe they're just a tad outdated. Maybe that's where you sit. Or maybe you have a Bob on your project or your facility that has everything up here. We call that the tribal knowledge, but maybe you have a Bob that knows where everything's at. But what are you going to do when Bob retires? And then lastly, you use GPRS to aggregate your files or create a living utility record, just like SiteMap. So we do have a couple answers here that have come in here as we go through. It looks like we have paper plans, and we also have a couple that have been updated here in the last decade. So yeah, that's kind of what we expected. We talk with facilities every day across the country, and everyone's in a little bit different situation, but yeah, that's great feedback. We hope we can move you towards a digital platform, a GIS platform. We think that's the best way to visualize, underground as-builts, and excited to, learn a little bit more here this morning. Second question, when was your last utility strike? This is one we don't always like to talk about, but we're gonna throw it out there this morning. So when was your last utility strike? In the last 6 months, 1 year, in the last 2 years, maybe one in the last 5 years, or maybe you don't have them at all. So that would be a perfect scenario, for your job site or your facility there. So it looks like about 67% now have answered, about 2/3. So we have, it looks like about in the last year, 6 months to a year. So unfortunately, that's a common story that we hear. We're not always digging, boring, breaking ground with the best information, and utilities can be struck from time to time. So yeah, that's really good feedback here. So yeah, our goal is to limit those line strikes to give you a better informed facility, so that you're, obviously safety being at the forefront of all that. We don't want utilities being struck. Everyone wants to go home at the end of the day, and obviously striking utility can derail a project. cost the facility, thousands, tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we know it's a real issue, and that's something we're trying to solve for you all. So appreciate the feedback. Yeah, excited to show you some augmented reality here. So it's been the most popular feature of our last release here. So I'm going to share a little video to kind of prompt things and get the conversation started here. So
Plans are off. Something's not right.
Hey, what's wrong?
Many site plans are what's wrong. The hydrant's right there. The water line's supposed to be right there, but this as-built is off.
Huh. Let me check SiteMap.
SiteMap? What's that?
Yeah, SiteMap. It's this new software from GPRS. I mean, paper plans are great for showing what the plan is supposed to be, but SiteMap's new augmented reality feature shows us what's actually there. See, look, right here. The line that we actually need to avoid is coming from the other direction.
You gotta be kidding me. We were planning to drill right there tomorrow. Let me see this.
Don't let outdated plans ruin your vision. Book your free SiteMap demo today.
I hope you were all able to hear that just fine. I'll get back to the slides here, show you a little bit more. But you see something there in that little video where there's an issue with not having the right information. It's a common situation on job sites every day. And you can see what we were able to do with augmented reality there. Was able to actually pull up in the field on site with the mobile app in SiteMap and be able to see those lines right on the ground. So we know that paint and flags don't last forever. Oftentimes at facilities, we have kids picking up flags, or maybe the maintenance team is mowing and they remove our flags. We have rain and weather, snow that cover up lines. So it's a common issue, but augmented reality could be a great way to visualize out there on site when those paint and flag marks go away. So I do want to show you a little walkthrough on how you can actually set this up. So if you have a subscription with SiteMap and you're using it, out on site with the mobile app, it's going to look similar to this. You're going to have a phone screen view. You can use the locating feature right in the mobile app. It will find you right out on site, and you can actually look around. It's going to show you where the features are located. So he actually, when we're walking through, Steven, our video guy, collected all this. He's setting anchor points. So this lets the system know, where you're located. And then this allows best accuracy for laying this augmented view right on the screen. So he's setting a couple anchor points here, and you'll see as soon as he does, it's going to lock in his location. It's going to lock in those lines, for view here. So now that he set his anchor point, he can pan around. You can see him hovering over irrigation lines. There's a communication line there. You can control the opacity. There's a few features in here that you can use to give you the best view. But you can see he's just panning around here on site, looking at the lines. It lays them right on the surface. One common question that we might potentially get here is, what about 3D? So you're laying the marks on the surface, but we know that GPRS uses ground penetrating radar and other technologies to locate utilities, which can give you depth. Can you place those underground in more of a 3D view? And the answer is yes, we can. We do not have it ready in the app yet. It is coming. It's something that we're developing, but basically it's going to invert the depths of what you're looking at, and it will place those underground in future iterations of the feature here. So but right now we're just placing the marks on the surface. So you can imagine how powerful this is. If you're sitting in an excavator and you're able to pull up the mobile app, so and pull up this augmented view. So it looks like we do have a question that came in here. Is this feature available to all users, all SiteMap users? So it is available for all SiteMap users with a subscription. So we have the free version that's included with your project orders with GPRS. So if we come out and do a locate, we're going to allow you to get into SiteMap, with the free version, where you can go in there and access the utility information. But on the paid side, we give, entire facility data. We give access to multiple users with paid features. So this is actually a paid feature that you have to have a subscription to be able to use this feature here in SiteMap. So Jordan, I appreciate the question. So this is actually the same. We're actually standing in the same location, of where you saw the last video, but this is a full screen view here. So I'm going to click play. You can see pulling up the phone, being able to pan over a water line, being able to pan. You have different utilities there in the area. So you can see just the difference between what you're able to view, just in sight, and then being able to pull up those marks on the surface. So even though there's no paint or flag on the ground, you can actually see, where those lines are located. So yeah, just super excited. This is really quick and easy to set up. I will actually tell you a little story. I was in California last week at one of our facilities that has a pro subscription. And we walked outside with the facility manager there. And we just asked him to pull up, his mobile phone, pull up his the mobile app on his cell phone, and pulled up SiteMap, got all logged in, and just within less than 30 seconds, he was able to pull up the site where we were standing. It located him. We were standing there. He pulled up the augmented reality view, and though there was no marks on the surface, we had a catch basin, we had a utility box in the ground. He set a couple anchors, and boom, all the line work popped up right there in the parking lot where we were standing. So you just see his eyes light up. It was just such an incredible moment of, hey, we order these locates to put marks on the surface. Well, we can actually visualize this out in the field. We think that's really powerful, and we're just excited to, really get that in your hands here. So we do have another area here. So this is another locate that we've done out there on site. You can see the marks, as you put the target over top of, put the little target here over top of utility. It will tell you what utility type that is. Yeah, just a great way to, again, visualize and get information that you need right here in the mobile application. So yeah, it's just a really cool feature. We've come a long way. In our last feature Friday, I talked about paper plans, and when I had started in the field, that's actually how we recorded information. I took a set of paper plans and I would hand sketch where the utilities are. I could even use different marker colors like red for power, blue for water. But that was kind of how we recorded information, and we transferred everything over into GPS signal. So we were able to collect our markings on the surface with GPS. And then, we've come a long way. So now we're in the application version, the web version of SiteMap here. And yeah, we've now gotten to augmented reality. So just really exciting to be able to show you this, here this morning. It's just, we're something that we're so proud of. We've come a long way. We have a long ways to go with it here. But this is another one that I showed a couple weeks ago in our first launch of the product here. But we actually had snow on the ground, and obviously paint and flags aren't going to last in snow. And you can see where the utilities were placed right here on the surface. So points, so any kind of valve, or maybe there's a manhole buried under the snow. We know on construction sites with a lot of heavy traffic, lines go away. These features can be covered up, but this is a great way to visualize the information right here on the surface. So we've showed this off a little bit here. We can now jump into a Q&A here. I don't know if anyone has any additional questions for us here, but love to chat here if you have any questions about augmented reality. Thank you, Jordan. We got another question here. How accurate is the line data? So another great question. So when we collect the information and we lay paint and flags on the ground, there's limitations to depth accuracy, where we lay those marks on the surface. But with our GPS collection, we collect with RTK. RTK places the point of the feature or of the line. We're sub 12 inch. We can connect with RTK and actually get sub-inch accuracy with the GPS collection. So that'll allow that to come into SiteMap in a very accurate way. And then when you visualize, it's only as accurate as how you click when you set those anchors and things like that. If you set it up properly, it should be as accurate as the GPS was collected. We do have legacy data in SiteMap that is older and a little bit dated. That was collected with submeter. So that could be plus or minus 3 feet type accuracy. But everything we've collected from 2025 and on and for the future will be collected with RTK. So we're calling it sub-foot, even in cases where we can get a fix triangulation, we can get sub-inch accuracy there. So, and again, when we are able to provide depths and be able to invert this line work, you'll actually see that in a similar accuracy rating as well. So that's a great question, Jordan. I hope I answered that for you. We do use a process when we locate utilities called SIM, that's subsurface investigation methodology, where we're using all the best technology, all the best equipment, training to locate utilities. It's really about a process and really investigating that site to the fullest to give you the most accurate signal, give you the most accurate locating of a utility when we place those marks on the surface. So you can certainly daylight or pothole utilities, which can give you perfect accuracy, where we're getting exact depths and diameters and pipe material of a utility. Yeah, we do have some limitations there with accuracy, but you can see that if you were to measure in SiteMap, you should be within 12 inches of where those marks are located there. So yes. So Charlie, so thank you for the question here. So can you please review how to access this once we open the app? So I started to show you this in the video here, and it goes kind of quick. So I will just play this really quickly here. So, and I'll try to pause this as we go. I'll try to answer this. So, oops. So right here, I'm going to pause this. So this is your home screen here that you're looking at on the mobile app. So we've actually, right here is the locator feature. So once you press that, it's going to locate you on site. You can click and you can zoom in, just touch screen. You can zoom in right on the site and you'll see how this works right here. So we're zooming in, and this GPS signal is using the accuracy for your cell phone. So again, with accuracy, where you're standing is actually using the GPS on your phone. So you have to kind of be careful with that. But that's why we set anchor points. You see he sets this valve and these 2 drains here to lock in, for accuracy here. And that's actually what happens here. So this is the augmented reality queue here. So this is what you'll select. You have to get to a certain zoom level. I was doing this out on site last week. As soon as you get to the zoom level, you'll see this option appear here. We click on that augmented reality, and it's going to show points along, where you're standing. So it's going to give you reference to where you're standing. So here's this irrigation control valve. You'll watch here. This is the first point he sets. So he clicks on that. He has the irrigation valve. He sets that point. He's going to walk over to these drains because he knows those are the other 2 anchor points that were listed. You'll see him set the 2 anchors. Sets the 2 anchor points, and now the line work will visualize, on your screen. So, and he's accessing that just by turning view with the phone. So there he's changing the opacity to full. You can see some of these lines are a little bit blurry. It's just the way it's coming in on the grass. You saw it on the snow in the contrast and things like that. But yeah, once you get it all set and locked in, you can just pan around from exactly where you're standing. So, and then he would be able to move around, reset anchor points to get a different view. So you can just imagine just sitting in an excavator, equipment operator, seeing this prior to digging. You can imagine the confidence level that you'd have just by having this. So, this is pulling up the same area, pulling up the phone here. So it's so exciting. I couldn't imagine if I was in the field, how easy it would be just to see this. Our team uses some of this when we go out and locate utilities. So we do our site walks. Of course, we're looking at site features and where we connect to locate those utilities. But yeah, this is certainly something that this is a tool that I think everyone's going to be excited about here. So appreciate the question, Charlie. Again, if you have any questions, if you're trying to use the mobile app, if you have a subscription, you're trying to pull up augmented reality, we have a support team, support@sitemap.com. Submit your request there, and we will get in contact with you. If you ever need to reach out, I'm always an open book. I can help you. I can work with you. Get you pointed in the right direction, at least in most cases. So, here's my information. If you want to reach out, that is my cell phone. You can blow me up anytime. I'll try to help you out here. So, it's excited to present augmented reality to you. We're excited. We will go through more features here in the future. We did want to go back over. We kind of glanced over it. We showed it. We kind of teased it in our last Feature Friday, but we really wanted to take a deep dive into the feature and really show you what it's about. So get out there on site, pull it up, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And thanks for joining us here on another Feature Friday. See you, everyone.